The Hough Riots were a series of riots that occurred in the Hough neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio, that began on July 18th of 1966 after a series of racially charged events occurred in the neighborhood. Hough had been severely impacted by white flight that had taken part in the neighborhood, as well as extreme poverty that followed, and this led to a severe degradation of public facilities, including parks, schools, as well as municipal activities like garbage collection. The neighborhood had suffered from extreme racial segregation, and despite the majority African American population, many of the businesses were actually white-owned and operated. This led to the incident that was the catalyst for the riots, which was at the 79 Cafe, which had two events that led to a riot. Firstly, a former sex worker had died, leaving 3 young children without any income or guidance, and another sex worker had offered a collection box at the bar, which was denied. Then followed a man entering the bar asking for water or for a cup of ice water, where he was denied, and the owners would place a very racist sign in the door saying, "No ice water for them." However, shortly thereafter, the restaurant was robbed and a large crowd began gathering outside the restaurant. The owners responded by bringing weapons outside and pointing them at the crowd. However, when they returned inside the restaurant, rocks and other things were thrown through the windows. It wasn't until the owners left that the crowd attempted to burn the restaurant down. Over 2,100 policemen, as well as 1,700 Ohio National Guard members, were brought into the neighborhood in an attempt to restore peace, although it exacerbated the violence. In total, 4 African Americans were killed in the riots, 50 were injured, and over 275 were arrested in relation to the arson and fire bombings. The riots had 2 major effects. Firstly, it led to the further degradation of the Hough neighborhood, which experienced severe decline for the next 5 decades, and it led to the election of the very first African American male of Cleveland, a man by the name of Carl Stokes. And if you want to know more interesting facts, be sure to follow so you don't miss out on more.